The dust swirled in the afternoon sun as a convoy of vehicles snaked its way through the battered streets of Khan Younis. This was no ordinary day in Gaza. All eyes were fixed on a makeshift stage, draped in the green flags of Hamas and emblazoned with powerful imagery. 3 Israeli prisoners were about to be handed over to the International Committee of the Red Cross, marking another tense chapter in the ongoing conflict. The atmosphere was a strange mix of anticipation and apprehension. Celebratory gunfire erupted sporadically, a stark reminder of the violence that had gripped the region for months. For the families of the hostages, it was a moment of agonizing uncertainty, their joy tinged with the knowledge that many others remained captive. The handover was part of a fragile ceasefire agreement, a beacon of hope in a conflict marked by deep mistrust and animosity. The handover itself was brief and tightly controlled. The 3 Israeli prisoners, Sasha Alexander Troubenov, Sagi Dekel Han, and Yair Horn, emerged from a black vehicle, their faces etched with exhaustion and relief. Flanked by masked Hamas militants, they were led to the stage, the eyes of the world watching their every move. The handover to the ICRC representatives marked the culmination of months of negotiations, a delicate dance on the razor's edge of diplomacy. This event, however, was about more than just 3 individuals regaining their freedom. It represented a small but significant step towards a potential easing of tensions between Israel and Hamas, 2 sides locked in a bitter struggle for decades. The images of the handover, broadcast around the world, served as a potent reminder of the human cost of this conflict and the desperate need for a lasting peace. The choice of the black vehicle used to transport the Israeli prisoners was highly symbolic. Seized by Hamas during the October 7, 2023 attack, it served as a stark reminder of the group's military capabilities and their unwavering commitment to their cause. For many Palestinians, it represented their own struggle for freedom and self-determination. The banners and slogans displayed at the handover ceremony further underscored the complex dynamics at play. Written in Arabic, Hebrew, and English, they conveyed messages of defiance, resilience, and a yearning for peace. No migration except to Jerusalem, and we are the soldiers. O Jerusalem, bear witness, proclaimed the banners, highlighting the centrality of Jerusalem in the conflict and the unwavering faith that fuels both sides. For some, the slogans were a provocation, a glorification of violence. For others, they were a cry for justice, a reflection of the deep-seated grievances that fuel the conflict. The presence of these messages served as a stark reminder that true peace requires more than just a cessation of hostilities. It demands addressing the underlying issues that have plagued the region for generations. The handover ceremony, with all its symbolism and carefully choreographed details, was a powerful reminder that even in the midst of conflict, hope for a better future can emerge. The release of the 3 Israeli prisoners, while only a small step, offered a glimmer of possibility, a chance for both sides to step back from the brink and explore a different path. The handover of the 3 Israeli prisoners was not a simple act of goodwill. It came at a price. In exchange for their release, Israel agreed to free 369 Palestinian prisoners, many of whom had been serving lengthy sentences for their roles in attacks against Israeli targets. The deal, brokered through months of painstaking negotiations, highlighted the difficult choices both sides face in their pursuit of peace and security. This exchange was part of a larger prisoner swap agreement, a key component of the fragile ceasefire that came into effect on January 19, 2025. The deal, if fully implemented, could see the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners in exchange for the remaining Israeli hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. The exchange is seen as a crucial trust-building measure, a way for both sides to demonstrate their commitment to de-escalation. The release of Palestinian prisoners is a highly sensitive issue in Israel, where many view them as terrorists who should remain behind bars. However, the government argues that such prisoner swaps are sometimes necessary to secure the release of Israeli captives and prevent further bloodshed. The decision to release the Palestinian prisoners was met with mixed reactions in Israel, reflecting the deep divisions within society. The prisoner exchange also underscores the international dimension of the conflict. 2 of the released Israeli prisoners, Sagi Dekel Han and Yair Horn, hold dual citizenship, American-Israeli and Argentine-Israeli respectively. Their cases highlight the global reach of the conflict and the role international actors play in mediating between the two sides. The handover of the 3 Israeli prisoners and the subsequent release of Palestinian prisoners are part of a broader ceasefire agreement aimed at bringing an end to the latest round of violence in Gaza. The agreement, brokered by Egypt and other international actors, calls for a cessation of hostilities, the gradual easing of the blockade on Gaza, and the reconstruction of the devastated territory. This ceasefire represents the best chance for peace in years, but it remains extremely fragile. Previous ceasefires have collapsed, often within days or weeks, as mistrust and animosity between the two sides run deep. The success of this agreement hinges on both sides adhering to their commitments and resisting the urge to return to violence. The international community has a crucial role to play in supporting the ceasefire and ensuring its long-term viability. This includes providing humanitarian aid to the beleaguered population of Gaza, facilitating the reconstruction process, and pressing both sides to address the underlying political issues that fuel the conflict. The road ahead is fraught with challenges, but the handover of the 3 Israeli prisoners offers a glimmer of hope. It is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, dialogue and diplomacy can yield results. The world will be watching closely to see if this fragile truce can hold and pave the way for a more peaceful future for both Israelis and Palestinians.